Iy'mbali zembali yakho.
Oh, Nkosi yami Kwanele. Sesazihle.
Kodwa ngeke sibe izinto okudlula wena mthani yami. Umuntu esengimkhiphela iy'nkomo zaphelela.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to ASR, African Stories Realized. This is our weekly review of Outlaws Season 1. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's get into it. Episode 9 picks up in the aftermath of Tlali's deadly raid as he argues with his men who requested a fair split of their spoils. The police arrive at the site of the massacre, and with valuable information from the surviving witness, they decide to pursue Tlali and his men before they disappear into the mountains of Lesotho. The police encountered the Basotho gang in the forest and a shootout ensued, with Tlali and his men retreating, but not before one of them was slain. Meanwhile, Sihle is doing her best to move on with Kwanele, whilst Leruo hits the bar and drowns his sorrows. A young boy approaches him and requests to join his gang. After agreeing to let the young man join his gang, a drunk Leruo made his way back to his ex's place where they reconciled and he promised to marry her. Meanwhile, the surviving witness from Tlali's raid, Sipho, arrives at the Biela home and requests Bandile's help in catching the raiders that killed his family and stole their cattle. Back in Lesotho, Tlali and his men arrived with the cattle, but the loss of one of their own does not go well amongst the group. The episode ends with Tlali reporting the death to his father. Episode 10 picks up with Leruo and his ex, Nyakalo. Leruo presents her with one of 10 calves as lobola for a hand in marriage. Our boy set his own price. Moretlo, however, pays Nyakalo's mother a visit, where the two women come to an understanding. Tlali and his father are then confronted by the widow of the man who was killed during the shootout with the police. She holds the father and son duo at gunpoint, but then breaks down in front of them with grief. Bandile informs his wife, Nolwandle, that he has decided to lead the Zulu farmers against the Soto raiders, to which she is not pleased with. He holds a meeting for the Zulu farmers, where they discuss how they can work together to fight against the Soto raiders. At the meeting, some victims also testify to how the Basotho raiders terrorized them. Upon hearing the testimonies, Nolwandle softened her stance and put her support behind Bandile's mission. Meanwhile, Kwanele and Sihle catch up with Kwanele's father, who is very demanding of Sihle. He questions the couple about their plans to have children and is displeased when he is informed that Sihle will not only continue practicing as a doctor, but she will continue to do it under her maiden name, Biela. Sihle is disappointed with Kwanele's father's reaction and begins to regret her decision as she confides in one of the nurses at work. She then tries to contact Leruo, who is busy training his new recruit. To my surprise, Leruo decides to meet up with Sihle and the two have an intimate moment at their spot in the woods. The episode ends with the top 4 meeting with a mysterious figure who is revealed to be Kwanele's father. Yet another twist. I'm very interested in finding out the link between Kwanele's father and the top 4 or the whole cattle raiding ring. But from the character description that I read, it definitely alludes to him being a big player in the game. One thing this show has done well is produce sustainable reveals. This latest one just adds more drama to Sihle's love triangle. Sihle and Leruo's reunion felt a bit rushed for me, and they didn't even address either of their pending marriages. The aftermath of Tlali's massacre was felt everywhere, but we didn't get to see Leruo and Moretlo's reaction. It seemed like they were in their own bubble. I think it'll be interesting how they balance the romance and action going forward. A lot happened, but I think it limited some of the backlash Tlali should be receiving from the community. Even the top 4 didn't acknowledge the incident, when the show has already established that news travels fast in these communities. Tlali can't keep getting away with this. I'll be back next week with another review. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This is ASR, for the love of African filmmaking and storytelling.
Bye.